Hi everybody, it's been an interesting month for me. Have to excuse the croaky voice. I've been hit with a bout of the man flu. But I soldiered on and kept on going. What have I been up to? As I say, it's been an interesting month. I've built some different knives to what I normally do. I met up with a friend of mine called Col, who's one of the instructors that's been teaching me paragliding or paramotor flying. So I had a get together with him and invited him to the workshop, and together we built a mini Cleaver. It's not something that I at the time was particularly into until Cole showed me the design, and we worked something out together, and we came up with this this mini Cleaver. I thought it would look quite nice actually. Unfortunately I haven't got it here to show you, but I have got pictures that I took and posted on Instagram, so I'll put them up now. The first picture I took, I had a few comments and people said it looks like a knife which has been snapped, and so I looked at it kind of closely. I thought, yeah, well it did, but you didn't get an appreciation of the scale, so I took another picture. And it gives you an idea of the scale of the knife with a bit lighter besides, for comparison purposes. The grind on it was a hollow grind, and because of the shape of the blade, I had to freehand the hollow grind, and it's not something that I've ever done a lot of, freehand hollow grinding, and it wasn't the best. It didn't come out perfect, but it was a very early attempt, so this is something that I may add to my lineup. I was quite impressed with the way this little Cleaver came out, and I think it had a good feel to it. It had a good feel. Anyway, earlier this year I was invited to stay on Dartmoor with a group of friends. And it was Simon, who's got a YouTube channel, Realabran, who invited me, and bless him, he paid for us all to go and stay at Nuns Cross Farm. Didn't have to pay a penny, and so I thought that was wonderful, and as a result I thought I'd like to repay Simon for his kindness, and he showed me a knife that he'd had in his possession for some time. And it was about 20 years old, I think, and it was a Spanish design, and apparently I think the original designer and maker since passed away. And so I looked at that and I thought, well, that's interesting design. I'll have a go at making one. So I built one, and together with Simon we came up with the idea we'd call it the Jacklaw Crow. There's a story as to why it's called the Crow, and I can't recall that at the moment, but perhaps Simon will leave it in the comments, and then I'll pin that comment so you can all see it. This is the knife. It's quite a pretty knife actually. It's a small blade. It's the only one in existence. And this is what I've built for you, Simon. I've yet to build the sheath, but I'll build the sheath up, and I'll bring it with me when I go to Sam's Hobo Homestead camp, so you'll have it in a week or two. Personally, I don't know if I like it or not. It's kind of comfortable and it kind of isn't. I don't know. I may have to do a bit more work on it to refine it a bit more, to make it a bit more comfortable in my hand, I think. It's kind of something which might grow on me, but I do like the shape of it though. So I'll try and get the camera to focus a bit closer so you can see it. I fitted it with stabilised birch. So quite a simple knife. So another interesting design. as I say. Could do with a bit of a clean up. So that's it, Simon. The very first, possibly one and only, Jacklaw Crow. What else have I been up to? I finished off a large batch of Wasp neck knives. The majority of these were built with stabilised walnut scales. I built 9 knives altogether. A couple of them were built for existing customers. One was Jim, who requested a white-handled Korean Wasp neck knife to match his white-handled Korean Jacklaw Classic that I built him a couple of years ago. I met Jim at the Wilderness Gathering, and he asked me then, so I was happy to build him that. One or two other people that I had the Wasps net lined up for. One's Stu. Stu, you know who you are. You bought me all that nice wool. I got a Wasp here for you if you want to come and collect that. And then I put a little notification on my website last week saying I'd have the rest of them for sale on the website today, on Monday. This being Monday, the 2nd of October. And then I got a load of emails from existing customers saying could they have one. So I mean, what do? Do I ignore my existing customers? Some of them old friends, some of them good customers, or do I and put them on the website for everybody to buy, or not? You know, so it was. I felt it was quite wrong to ignore those people. So all but one of those knives has sold now, and I only have one Jacklaw Wasp ready for sale, which will be going on the website later on today, or possibly tomorrow, depending on how I get through this afternoon. Interesting developments afoot as well. I'm starting to move into stainless steels. I've got some CPM 154, which I'm told is very similar to RWL 34. It's a kind of I think they refer to it as a powder technology steel, very, very fine grain, stainless steel, holds a very good edge. It can be hardened to 61 HRC and still hold that edge without chipping, something that you couldn't do with 01. 01 it needs to be softer, otherwise it will chip. So I've got that steel in stock now. I've got my nitrogen dewar, which is the storage vessel for the liquid nitrogen, because to get the best from this steel I need to do a cryo quench. So I've got that. I've got an account with BOC, which are the liquid nitrogen suppliers in the UK, and as soon as I need the nitrogen, they'll come and deliver it to my house. So I'm looking forward to branching out into that. I've been doing a lot of study, a lot of reading online about the various different heat treatments of this specialised steel, so I can get the best out of it. Obviously I'll do a few tests first to make sure that I'm producing something with a reasonable heat treat. I've also got a lovely piece of Damascus steel that I'm going to be building a knife for my other paramotor instructor, Simon. He bought the steel, and I'm looking forward to working with Damascus. It'll be the first time I've used Damascus, and I'm probably going to do a video documentary of that as I build that knife in stages. So that'll be coming up in the next, well, over this month, I hope. What else? I think one last thing. There's this old thing called karma. I think in the Eastern religions they call it karma. Now I'm not really a religious person in that sense, but I do believe in what goes round comes round. If you do good, you get good. You get good back. If you do bad, you get bad back. Well, I kind of had a misfortunate thing happen to me a couple of years ago. at the UK knife show. I bought a couple of blocks of desert ironwood, exhibition grade, over £100 worth of wood, and then I put them carefully in a box and hid the box away, so only a small number of people knew that wood was there. Anyway, at the end of the knife show I packed up, come home, and got on with a few bits and pieces. I think at the time I was renovating my workshop, so I didn't get to check that box again for a couple of weeks. And then when I did check it, to my horror, I found those 2 blocks of wood had gone missing. And I've not found them to this day, so I can only presume someone lifted them, someone stole them. I don't know who it was. There were only a small number of people that knew about the wood. It would be quite wrong of me to accuse anybody. But anyway, because of that, a very good customer and friend, John, said, "I've got something for you." And John came to see me last week, and he produced a bag. And when he opened the bag, I was kind of flabbergasted, because there must have been, going by current prices, I'd say about £600 worth of desert ironwood, some of which were incredible quality. So don't know what to say, John. Thank you very much. In my usual tradition, of course, I'll be repaying you with something that I'll build, and I'll use one of the blocks of desert ironwood and build you something as a thank you. So I think that just about ties up this video for now. I'm going to go and get myself a cup of tea. Beginning to feel better now. If anyone's interested in the paramotor flying, I know some of you might be. I've got some videos of me flying my new paramotor. It's something I've always wanted to do. In the past, I've been interested in aviation since I was a child, basically. And when I was quite young, I learnt to fly gliders, and then I went on to weight shift microlights, and I couldn't afford to keep it up. It was expensive. And then I just recently managed to pay my mortgage off. I got a legacy from my mum, and my children have grown up, and I'm in the right time and place and space now to be able to fulfill a dream. So that's what I've done. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. As I say, upcoming videos showing the builds of perhaps the first stainless steel knives and the first Damascus knives coming out of my workshop, and possibly a new design of knife, or 2 or 3 perhaps. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.